Hey everyone, and welcome to the newest episode of GVGCast. Sorry, I just read the copy here that Ash has that he hasn't updated. He's going off of memory for a lot of this stuff, and I did not realize that. So my intro is all messed up already, but we're live, so we're going with it. And I am joined, as always, by my wonderful friend and GVG co-founder, John Cartwright, and our special guest, freelance letterer at Shonen Jump, Brandon Bovia, also my own personal podcast partner, as we do a One Piece podcast over on my personal channel. Plug, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, all that. How are you both doing? Welcome to the GVGcast.
Hey, it's me, Goku. Is that Goku? He's here? It's me.
It's Goku. That's Goku over there.
Damn. That's impressive.
It is very impressive.
I mean, I guess since I hadn't been on, haven't been on the channel in a while, so I don't know if people don't like, who's this guy? But yeah, I do me and Derrick do a One Piece read through podcast together, which has been a whole lot of fun. We've been at it for almost a year. Can you believe that?
Wow.
No, I can't. It's crazy. But hey, we're halfway through Alabasta, so that's neat.
Yeah. Wow. It's just I can't believe it. But we're not here to talk about One Piece. But go listen to that podcast. It's great. I love rereading it.
Yeah. And yeah, it's been an interesting week. We're having an earlier episode because poor Ash is just exhausted. He has been going through the ringer. They're having some very late nights, so he can't really host at the moment.
Relate.
Although he seems to be active in the chat, so because boy,
go
can't
to bed,
give him
Ash.
Yeah, take a nap.
Sleep.
Go to sleep. And yeah, so we're going to have an earlier one with John, but I am here as well. Brandon and Daniel are also both very busy. So that's why we have, we have to have a Brandon on the show apparently. So our very first GVGcast guest, Brandon himself.
Hey,
that's
wow,
awesome.
what an honor. Me of all people.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do with video games. What am I doing here?
I think there was a comment saying, like, is the special guest going to be Sakurai? I mean, he's in the title, but we've got someone even better than Sakurai.
I know, right?
Sakurai didn't have what it takes to put Dragon Ball in Smash, so
there you go.
I have one thing
he
that he
failed.
doesn't.
He failed in that way. That's a shame. But yeah, before we get too far, though, we do have to bring up that we are sponsored, as always, by The Game Orb. And The Game Orb is a YouTube channel that brings commentary and gameplay footage from the Nintendo Switch and Xbox Series X gaming systems. In honor of the 20th anniversary of the North American launch of Super Mario Sunshine, the first part of the game will be uploaded by the end of the day. Also, look out for the video for the Splatoon 3 Splatfest World Premiere in the next few days. So be sure to subscribe to The Game Orb at the link in the description. And I believe Ash has already pinned that link as well. So yes, thank you as always, Game Orb. Really do appreciate your continued support and sponsorship. And we actually have another sponsor, but that'll come a little bit later in the show since we pace these out. In the meantime, how's everybody been? John, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. Yeah, it's been a bit of a busy week. We started off doing that video on what Nintendo owns, like what companies they do. And there's a few comments on
video.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
Oh, I really loved that video.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was one I did like on a whim because I did like a little Twitter thread about it, and people just seemed to enjoy it. It was getting like quite a lot of attention, so I thought let's just make a video version, and so I did that in kind of like a day. But there's a few comments saying like they want other things. Like one big popular one was about the Pokemon Company, like who owns the Pokemon Company, what's it made up of, what roles do all the people have in there. A lot of people are asking about Creatures as well. I think Creatures is the lesser-known entity of the Pokemon Company. So I'm currently working on that. I've written the script out, and I'm probably going to get that up for this coming Monday. And I've also been playing a bunch of Splatoon 1 as well, because I'm revisiting that for another video. And it's crazy how active that game is. Like, if you just like go on a turf war or a ranked match, you will find a game, like, so quickly. It's mostly Japanese players. I think there's a lot of purists for Splatoon 1 that have stuck with it. But yeah, it's ridiculous just how active that game is. It's a Wii U game.
Yeah, I've actually seen that firsthand. My Amy's daughter will occasionally hook up the Wii U and actually play it, and I was shocked when she found matches so quickly. Hasn't done it in a while.
Wow.
She's been full on like ready for Splatoon 3 mode. That whole thing. But yeah, it's crazy how much that stuck around. And yeah, as Brandon was saying, you're that funny how those videos that are just on a whim do so well, John.
Oh yeah, like some videos we spend the entire week making. That one was just a day's work, and it's outperformed like everything I've done recently.
Believe it or not, the original
life,
SMT retrospective was a whim.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Well, yeah, I mean, it didn't take a whim, but the idea was a whim. It's like, I'm interested in this, and let's just see how it goes, and it's evolved into its own thing. Currently, I am working on. I'm behind on it. I'm trying to catch up. There's just been a lot going on for me. So I've been trying to get a review up for Soul Hackers 2, since the game is out now. And I figured like probably a good idea to cover that since it is the whole thing that inspired the retrospective. So hopefully I'll have that ready for next week. I'm just trying to get through the game as much as possible. I am enjoying it, but I have some thoughts. It's not as strong as I hoped. I'll put it that way, but it's not bad. Yes. It's just not as strong as I hoped.
I played a little bit, nowhere near as much as you. But it seems fairly memorable, which is a good thing. Mm-hmm. But you're right, it's not that strong. There's some very strange things that feel like they could be fixed fairly easily, like the camera.
Oh,
it's very low for some reason.
It's very low and just straight ahead. It threw me off so much when I started playing the game. I adjusted to it relatively quickly, but honestly, that and my other big complaint is the dungeons so far are very boring.
I've heard that complaint a lot.
Yeah, they're just nothing going on there. As far as my next retrospective, which I've already announced is going to be Nier/Drakengard, I am starting to work on that. I actually did something for the first time for this. I've gone away from internet research and got myself a book. So to really get the mechanizations of this, most of this honestly is about the lore of Nier, which I will say right now, I am not covering. I am not touching anything story related because that's not the point of these retrospectives. It's not a lore thing. It's more about like the making of and how they play. And that's the whole idea here. So, don't have to worry about me spoiling Nier Automata before people were able to play it on the Switch, that sort of thing. And I'm going to be jumping right into that as soon as I finish up Soul Hackers 2. John also gave me an idea for something else I could work on related to Xeno, but we'll see how much time I have for that.
Yeah, we'll see. It shouldn't be a crazy long one, but
it shouldn't be. But I know myself; I can still see it ending up longer than I would think. So
before we keep going, though, I've got some super chats that I'm going to read out real quick. We've got $50 from Aramis Baramus, who is so generous and kind. They say, "Hey GVG crew, have a great cast. Thanks so much."
Thank you.
We also got $5 from Jaden Buck, and they say, "Crazy question Fridays. Crazy question number 49. What meme-worthy phrase could you come up with in 5 seconds? Starting now." Brandon, can you come up with anything?
Deadlines. That's my meme phrase.
There you go. It's going to catch on. We also have I'm bad with names. I'm sorry about this. Is it Gokhan Gula?
That sounds pretty good.
I think that's the currency is Turkish lira, 50.
Oh wow!
It says, now that Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is out, the series is better than ever, and Wii U eShop is closed, or at least it's closing. How much change do you give to that? How much
of a chance do you give, I think?
Oh, okay. How much chance do you give that Microsoft's next work would be Xenoblade Chronicles exports?
I hope.
I hope.
Yeah. Hopefully it is.
I mean, one of the coolest things I discovered and didn't really realize when I was doing that retrospective on the Xeno series, X laid the groundwork for a high roll in Breath of the Wild. That's why the Monolith Soft was brought on to help with Breath of the Wild. That open world would not be anything without that game, despite it doing only okay. But it's also, X is so much more gameplay focused than other Xeno games, and I think that threw people off. But I've seen a lot of love for X since that point. I think it's come around to that sort of cult status where it's like, no, I actually did really like this one and what it did. So yeah, I think I hope so, but we'll see what they do.
I understand why they haven't yet, though. Like, I'd love for it to happen. but their priorities in doing one first, they make sense. I mean, they're not directly connected, but 1, 2, and 3 do have connections, and I think it makes sense to give everyone that trilogy so they can get the whole picture. But hopefully X is on the way, though. Yeah.
No reason not to. It's
no reason not to.
One of the best games on Wii U. Just do it.
It is.
And we ported everything else from Wii U there,
games.
so let's do it.
We also got Hasselbaum, $9.99. They say, love seeing Brandon on here. Everyone give me your top 3 anime video games and go listen to his One Piece podcast.
Huh.
Your top 3 anime video games.
So does this just mean like, I assume he means like games that are a direct tie into like an anime franchise?
Yes, I believe so.
Anime style. Yeah. Oh gosh, I haven't played one in a long time.
I will say Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Fighters has to be up there.
I think the Neon Genesis Evangelion 64 is very funny because of the soundtrack, so I'm going to put that in there.
Yes.
What else?
I'm trying to think of what other anime games I've gotten. Honestly, the Ultimate Ninja games, Ultimate Ninja Storm games from Naruto, very, very good. Honestly, they're some of the best ways to actually experience the story of Naruto.
Better than the anime in some respects.
I will also say this is cheating, but Pokemon Yellow, because there's a lot of anime.
Hey!
That is a good point.
Yes, yeah.
That's a good point.
Absolutely.
And this... Oh, sorry, you can keep listening if you want.
Oh, no, that's fine. I honestly can't think of a third off the top of my head.
There's so many, but they're all on our minds right now.
Hustlebun in the live audience chat. Legacy of Goku 2. Classic.
That is a classic. I am so mad that I didn't get that one because I was so burned by Legacy of Goku 1.
Yeah.
You know, one of my very first games of all time was JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for Dreamcast. And I regret trading that in for Finding Nemo on PlayStation 2.
Oh, no!
It is so expensive now. There's no way I'm getting that back. But I had a great time with it as a kid.
That reminds me of when I traded in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on PS2. And I was so shocked that I got like $40 for it and like $3 for everything else. I'm like, I've made a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, never trade games.
No. What were we going to say though, Brandon?
I don't remember.
Okay.
All right, then.
We have one more super chat, and this isn't a question. This is a very, very nice comment. So the Succulent Chinese Meal gave us $1.99 and says, "Yay, Brandon is on."
It's nothing but
all of the love pouring out from the community. I'm so honored. Like I'm just a guy. I know people are excited for me to be here, but I appreciate it all the same.
We're all just guys at the end of the day.
Really are just guys. That's all it comes down to. What have you been up to? We've been John and I talking about what we've been working on, but what about you, Brandon? What have you been up to?
I mean, mostly just work. So I feel like I haven't mentioned it on this show yet. I work in the manga localization industry, so that is my day to day, 95% of the time. So I open up like the One Piece podcast by saying that like I work on Dragon Ball Super and Kaiju number 8 because those are the 2 most well-known manga that I work on. Probably I work on a whole ton else that I'll like bring up here and there on Twitter. The list is so long that I just like
isn't like 30 different manga long.
Probably, yeah. I think in terms of like stuff that is active, some of that is like once a year kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
But I probably about 20 to 30 things that are currently ongoing.
So that's a lot of work.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Too much. Yeah. I'm currently working on a manga from the 90s called Spriggan, which just got a Netflix remake, animated remake, so it's actually good. And so the original manga never came out in completion in the 90s, so like I'm working with Seven Seas to sort of just like giving it the premium treatment. The volumes are 600 pages long. We're combining them into omnibuses. They're super thick. So
nice.
A lot of work, but a lot of fun. Like I tweeted about the other day on the volume that I'm working on right now, because I haven't like looked at the translation yet, so I don't have context for any of this. But like Hitler comes back, and then there are dinosaurs.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
So I was like, it was like I hit Hitler and dinosaurs within 100 pages of each other, and this is a manga that was supposed to be about like ancient artifacts and like it's like a Indiana Jones plus Metal Gear kinda. So yeah,
okay.
Getting to Hitler and dinosaurs in the same 100 pages was just that's work. On the game side of things, I've just been playing Xenoblade 3, but
Nice.
I'm about 2/3 done, but I haven't had the time to play in a little while.
I want to play more of that. I'm still in chapter 2, but yeah.
There's definitely stuff I want to talk about. There's like I won't even allude to it. There's some good stuff.
Yeah, I've been trying to avoid illusions as much as I can, just because I'm in enough of it that I can probably figure it out.
Yeah. So I am past to the beginning of chapter 6, John. Just as far as
so
where
things have
I'm
ramped up.
Things have ramped up. That's
boy.
it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
Like if you know, you know.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess speaking of Xenoblade, yesterday I was hanging out with Skydiver Bennett, who was the voice of Pyra and Mithra in Xenoblade 2. And if anyone wants to watch us just hang out together, her Twitch has a VOD of our Jackbox stream. And that was pretty fun.
That sounds.
But she's a really chill person.
Oh yeah. You two have actually. It's funny you had that interview with her, and just because you guys are so close to each other, just started hanging out.
Yeah. So we did one way back at GX. That was like the year-long anniversary of 2. That's 4 years ago at this point.
Jesus Christ.
That's so
And I guess
crazy.
since then we just sort of kept in touch. We did a video with her recently about it's for what like my niece was with me for work experience. So we did one with Sky about like leaving school and talking about careers and stuff. So we got that on the channel too. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, it's a good point for Xenoblade right now. It feels like one of the more prominent franchises. Like obviously not in terms of sales, but there's like Monolith Soft are always just churning something out. And we've got like if Torn is anything to go by, this coming DLC is gonna rock.
Oh, I'm excited for it. That's why I want to try to
wait.
get on that, but it'll happen.
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as I finish Soul Hackers, it's the retrospective and Xenoblade. That's all I'm doing. Yeah. I think, unless there's anything else we're up to, I think we can go ahead and move on to news. But before we do that, we have our second sponsor, and hey, they brought video. So let's bring that up.
Ooh.
Hey everybody, this is Azran127. This week I'd like to tell you about my Twitch channel. My goal is to bring my unique sense of humor to anyone willing to watch. I have and will continue to play a broad range of Nintendo titles as well as offer live sessions on the piano. My past adventures include too many to name here, but you can see some examples in these clips. With channel points, you can request puns on demand, force me into badly singing in place of speaking for a minute, or make me find a creative way to use a controller that's not normally compatible with the game or instrument that I'm playing. This includes the entire line of Nintendo Labo products, which I assembled on stream. So, if you like the sound of playing underrated gaming gems, fueled by unabashed off-the-cuff humor and a peppering of piano performances, all wrapped up in a layout made by GVG's own Daniel Alba, then you should absolutely drop a follow. Thank you.
And that's Azran. Definitely check them out. We have a link to their Twitch in the description, so definitely check them out. And great to have a video there. Just I don't need to I don't need to spout.
That's a break.
It's exactly. We were making fun of Ash, and no, we weren't making fun of Ash.
Can you believe Mega Man? He's so blue.
I know.
So blue.
Everybody told him he's just too blue. My God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool. There was a Mega Man game that came out, I think, like 2 weeks ago. The Neo Geo Pocket Color fighting Mega Man game.
Oh yeah.
That was such a cool ad. It didn't really get much coverage, but out of nowhere, it's just on the eShop.
Is that any good? I don't even know.
I've heard no buzz about it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna just redeem a bunch of gold points. I've got a lot of Switch cartridges that I haven't redeemed the points on, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that and try and buy the game that way.
Oh, I always forget about the physical games. I don't know if I've ever redeemed any of them.
And they expire after a while.
Oh,
They do, yeah.
They do, yeah. So you've got to make sure that you've got some fresh ones in there.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Well,
I was kind of addicted to that for a while. Like every time I buy a new physical game, it's like gold coins. I need them, even if it's far less than you get from buying digitally. But it builds up over time.
go figure.
I love getting 6 cents back.
Yeah. Lucky us. Maybe I'll do that, and I can use that to get the expansion for Zeno. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they decided to have gold coins expire. That's really, really dumb.
It is dumb, yeah. I don't know. Like, let's say you pick up a game. It's like a print that's been on store shelves and hasn't sold, and you buy it brand new, but it's just been on store shelves for like 2 years. Does that mean that it's expired? Like, have you lost out even though you're buying it brand new?
I've had that happen once, and I can't remember what game it was.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Again, losing out on 60 cents, so I'm like,
That 60 cents can add up. But
yeah.
Speaking of money, one of the bigger pieces of news that happened this week, Sony has announced that the PlayStation 5 has increased its price for pretty much every country except the United States. John, how rough is it for you now? Like, how much did it increase? Because, dear God.
It's pretty... I think in Europe it's gone up by €50. I think in the UK, I think it's £30. I can't quite recall, but I know if you convert it to US, it's something like $580 now, the UK price.
It's PS3 prices back in the day, and with inflation, that $600 is definitely way more. But geez,
yeah, and there's a living crisis going on in a lot of Europe, especially the UK right now. So like a lot of bills have doubled. So Sony thought, this is the best chance to increase all of our prices.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. It's so dumb. Like, I'm not affected. I have a PS5, but I just feel because people have been desperately trying to get one.
Right, because you can't buy one.
Right.
Like you have to go out. You can't just walk into a retail store and buy one.
No. What does this mean for the competition too? Because Nintendo have outright said they're not increasing their prices,
and so is Microsoft. Microsoft have come out as well saying we're not going to increase. So both Sony, I think both Xbox and Nintendo are like, sweet.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
If you look back to the last generation, like with PS4 and Xbox One, Xbox One having Kinect was a big hindrance for price. So I think it was something like $50 more for an Xbox One.
It was $100 more here at least.
Was it $100 more? Jeez.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because they removed the Kinect and the price dropped to match the PS4.
Wow.
So it was that. Yeah, it's insanity.
Even with that being 100 more, though, it was also a weaker machine. And right now, the Xbox Series X, which I think the SSD is the only thing that isn't more powerful, but otherwise the Series X is more powerful.
Basically the same.
So you've got what is technically a stronger machine for a smaller price. Obviously, Sony has the Marvel power; they got Spider-Man. But when it comes to like just your average person picking up a console, I think that £30 difference will make a difference. Will probably like give Xbox a big boost.
I mean, it doesn't make sense either because the components are getting cheaper thanks to the crash of crypto.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's becoming easier to get those parts, which theoretically should make them able to make more and get them lower in price. But maybe they're counting on that there's the demand still being there and they can just take advantage of people like, okay, they're available now. Let's get one. Oh, crap. It went up in price. This is garbage.
I wonder if they felt more comfortable doing this because we got the Quest 2 shot up by $100 also.
Sure.
And I wonder if like Sony looked at that and was like, okay, now somebody else took that first step, so now we are going to. But so I'm actually more surprised, if anything, that both Nintendo and Microsoft have just like committed to their current prices.
I
was sort of like, oh, this is going to be a trend because of inflation.
Yeah.
I think they probably just saw this and be like, unless it's successful, like maybe if it works out, then I can see Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo being like, yeah, we'll pay more. But if it's not, they can definitely reap those benefits. It just seems like Jim Ryan doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
I don't think Jim Ryan's going to be CEO for much longer. There's been so much. I don't know if they're using him as like a scapegoat to get all the bad press on him. But it seems like every month there's something about Jim Ryan.
There's something. Yeah.
I mean,
there's something, yeah.
You got that whole thing with, again, we have that whole revamp of the PlayStation Plus. We have the premiums and the whatever else, all this stuff. They have not put another old game on there since it launched. And how many months ago was that? Like, Nintendo is more consistent with getting old games on the Switch Online. That is sad.
It's sad because they use like sort of technicalities where they're like, yeah, we're going to put PS3 games on there. So here's the PS4 remastered versions of the PS3 Yakuzas, and it's like that's not the same. Shut up.
No. And there's still 50 hertz games in Europe. They said that they're going to change that. They're going to add 60 hertz options, but right now, like if you play Ape Escape, it's still 50 hertz.
I think they fixed it for us.
They
but
fixed
of
it for
course
you,
they-
yeah.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they haven't done it here yet, and it can't be that hard. just
can't.
upload the 60 hertz ROMs as well. But why do you think? Like, not to get conspiracy theories here, but why do you think it is most places but not the US? And the way they worded it, by the way, they said in some territories, and they list like the UK, Europe, Australia, Asia, Japan.
Yeah.
I think South America, Canada. I think Canada was in there. Yeah, it's like they're listing everywhere apart from the US.
It really feels like Sony is sort of trying to shift to be such a like US centric like game publisher.
Yeah.
Because, they closed down like Japan studio, and like a lot of the, remember hearing like the offices and stuff are now kind of like based in the U.S. and instead of Japan, and it's like.
And they're trying to get so many movies off the ground now. We're hearing about the Horizon stuff, and we're hearing about Gravity Rush of all things.
Yeah, what's that? And Days Gone? Like they've already said there's not going to be another Days Gone. They've closed Japan studio, but there's Days Gone and Gravity Rush movies.
They're gonna farm the IP, but we're gonna do anything with these as games.
It's like Sony doesn't want to be a game maker; they want to be a media maker. At this point, that's what it really feels like Sony themselves, and it's very odd. It just like leaned into like, oh wow, Last of Us was really like sold a lot, and so did Last of Us 2 and God of War, and they're so interactive experiences. These are big things, and now it's like we got to lean into that. All our games have to be that, and it's like, no.
I think they want to be Marvel. They want to be like the MCU of the gaming industry, where it's like
they definitely
blockbuster.
They're trying to. They feel like they're positioning themselves as like the prestige game publisher.
Yeah,
but not quite having earned it.
I mean, and the Marvel comparison too. It's quite literal. They want to have Marvel IP in there. We've got Spider-Man already, but Wolverine's coming up.
Yeah, Wolverine.
You know, there's going to be more than that.
Oh yeah, if it keeps going well, they'll just keep handing that off and getting all that in there. But yeah, it's sad. I mean, yeah, U.S. is not affected, but there's a lot of people worldwide, and it's still tough. It is odd that U.S. was not chosen to be upped. Maybe they didn't like the optics. They could probably ride the wave.
I think it was the optics.
Americans tend to be the loudest, so
yeah, I think we are subsidizing everybody else's price increases across the world.
I think that's it. Yeah, they're gambling the rest of the world to keep the US happy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which sucks. Save us, Astro. Astro's the only one that can save us now.
It's the only way. It's the only way.
Japanese games again.
Although I'm scared. I'm scared of one thing. I feel like the next Astro is probably going to be PlayStation VR 2. And I feel like PlayStation VR 2 is going to be very expensive outside of the US.
I was feeling... like before all of this nonsense had started, I was like, VR2 is probably like in the $300 to $400 range, but like, I even think it might be more expensive here. That might be one way.
Oh yeah, I could see it.
It'll definitely be more expensive abroad for sure.
It's sad.
Yeah. How much do you think that's going to be? PSVR 2.
How much is the other, like the Quest and?
I think the original PSVR, did it debut at like $250? Or was it more
something
than
like that?
I don't know, because I've not paid attention to.
Use like 300
VR.
It's a hard question to answer because they're giving you a lot of stuff. It's not PS Move controllers anymore. You've got proper haptic controllers. You've got way more expensive equipment. I'm not sure what price you put on that.
I could see maybe around $400.
Oh, apparently Terraforce in our live audience says that PSVR 1 was $400. Is that right?
Yikes.
Was it? Oh my god!
Is that with the awful Move controllers?
It may have been.
Wow.
Oof.
See, I do not pay attention to VR at all, so I have no frame of reference whatsoever. That's wow. Could be up to $600. That's insane.
Yeah,
that's gonna be steep. Like, and that's already a niche within a niche because you're already like part of the like couple odd million who already have a PS5, and it's like, what tiny percentage of that is going to drop
there's still
for a VR2?
Horizon, God of War, both still released on PS4 because there's just not enough PS5s out there.
Yeah.
By all accounts, this new generation, like we're 2 years into this next generation, and we really haven't began it.
No, you're right.
It's such a weird era. And now the consoles are more expensive than when they started, and we don't even have a lot of proper next-gen games. It's madness out here.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, you know what? Well, there's a different kind of madness, but it's a good kind of madness for the other news story we got this week. Out of nowhere, since Sakurai finished all of his old screenshots of Smash that he was having fun with, he started his own YouTube channel. And can't say I expected that one, but my God, they're wonderful.
We're getting a new Sakurai Presents every like multiple times a week now.
Yeah, I think a new one has come
cozy.
out every single day, and boy, this is just completely as Moon Rhoda in the chat says, Sakurai channel over Kojima podcast. This blew Kojima's podcast out of the water.
That's right. This was announced on the same day as Gamescom, and
Yeah.
I remember coming off that feeling so deflated. It was funny seeing the Kojima podcast, but the rest of the show was just dull. But then, afterwards, it's like, oh, Sakurai's doing a YouTube channel, and he already had some videos up available, and they're so well done. And he shows you some behind-the-scenes stuff that's never been seen before, too. Like, in one of his videos, he shows you about hit stunning and how important it is. And he gives you an example where Ryu has his hit stun in Smash Ultimate, and one example where he doesn't. He just goes straight through a character.
It's amazing how
cursed.
much of a difference it really demonstrates. Like I've seen so many industry people being like, this is amazing. This sort of like not limited to GDC, not limited to like having to pay. It's just out there and free as a inspiration tool. And it's something that could really bring a lot of people into gaming to show them or have designs or just really take those ideas for themselves and really emphasize it. Like I could see this being a handy boon to indies.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some interesting things in his Kirby episode. Like, he talks about how Kirby can fly. And a lot of people within HOW were like, do you really want to do that? Like, do you want to make a platformer where people can just fly out of a pit? And his main reason for that was so many games were difficult on the NES. And he wanted to just make an accessible game that people can keep wanting to play over and over again. Because there's some arcade games like Pac-Man and Galaga that you'll return to even like you can get as far as you need to, but you can just keep playing over and over and over again. And he wanted to make something like that with Kirby, something you can beat but still want to replay. And that was actually really against the curve. Like very few developers those days were making just easy games. It's really neat seeing him talk about that.
Yeah.
And I like that he even explained, and I wonder how much he was aware of this at the time, where it's like games were hard back then because there were so many like memory limitations.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we have to make them harder, otherwise they'll be done in like an hour. But like Sakurai sort of recognized that as like a boon of like you can come back over and over again if it's still fun.
Totally.
And so I really loved seeing his thought process.
I'm really looking forward to seeing his thought process behind like Kirby's Adventure and so forth.
Oh yeah.
Getting into that. I still haven't had a chance to watch his video on frame rate.
It's interesting. He talks about 50 hertz and 60 hertz, which I wasn't expecting.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He knows.
He knows.
Yeah.
I want to see him do a video on post Sakurai Kirby games. I want to see what he thinks of Forgotten Land or I don't know, like they will slip in my mind now. But Kirby 64. I want to see what he thinks about those ones.
Yeah, I like how he had to have that flex in the Kirby one. It was like, mine's still the best selling in the series.
Yeah, I mean, he also is like saying like he doesn't have monetization turned on, which is crazy because he's already up to like 236,000 subs.
Yeah,
seriously.
And he's paying out of pocket to the people that edit this video and translate these videos.
Yeah, as somebody who's kind of okay at Japanese, the localization in these is fantastic.
Oh, really?
The writing, it comes off as so natural.
That's
that
awesome.
I'm just like, I don't know who they're getting to do it. I don't know if they're like credited anywhere, but it feels like it's just like his Nintendo stuff, like the presents he would make for Smash and stuff, just like out there for free.
Yeah, that's really cool. I do wonder how long this is going to go for, because he's doing it out of pocket. Like, he's not really making money. I don't think there's any ads. I watched all his videos and there was nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, he has ads turned off.
He's doing it for the people.
It is just a resource. It's like a library.
I love that.
So honestly, it'd be kind of cool if somebody like almost funded him. Was like, no, we'll help you out so you can put these out and so get that information out there, or maybe inspire other devs to do similar things. I mean, he already said that he's just he can't give all the secrets away. There are trade secrets he cannot give, but he can give as much as he can, and it's I don't know. It's there's I think there's a reason he's so beloved. But go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, I think it's admirable how much, because he mentions in his videos that like he could go on for days about this stuff, but he's so dedicated to trying to like keep this accessible that it's actually really hard to try to like boil something down to the core concepts. And so for somebody who's as in the weeds as Sakurai to be able to just like break it down in as simple and as quickly as possible, I think is just like really, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's fun too. Like even as someone who doesn't make games, it's cool just seeing this perspective. It's something we see in movies a lot. Like we see behind the scenes of how movies are made, but we never see it in games. It's such a secretive industry. It's so cool when we get art books like Breath of the Wild where we can see all these concepts that work. But how many games do that? It's a really rare thing.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, it blew my mind back in the day when I rented Sly Cooper, the original one, and there was a commentary track after you beat it. Like they actually have the developers to have a commentary about the level as you're playing, and I was like, that is cool. Yeah, I love that. I wish more would do that, but it's just not a thing. It'd be cool if you could like instead of audio, like along with audio logs, if you do like New Game Plus, you find instead of those same audio logs, it's developer commentary about the area you're in. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Valve's good at that. Like Half-Life 2 and Portal have a lot of audio logs in there. But it's something we don't really see. I'd love for more developers to do that.
Mm-hmm. And the last little bit we'll talk about before moving on to our Patreon topics. The Splatfest demo is tomorrow, this weekend, from noon Eastern to midnight Eastern. 9 a.m. Pacific. And John, what time is that for you? I'm bad at that.
So they're actually doing something interesting with this, where I think you can do them at any time in the time zone. So I think like 9 a.m. Pacific can also be 9 a.m. UK. Because when you boot up the demo, it lets you choose what region you want to be in. So you can choose Europe, America, Japan, Australia. Whoa. And I'm pretty sure we all start at 9 a.m. in our respective time zones.
Wow,
really?
What the heck?
I thought it was noon. I thought it was still noon, but I might be wrong.
I think the US one was starting noon for me, I'm pretty sure. But the UK one, I'm pretty sure I can start right at 9 a.m. my time.
Huh.
Oh, I see. Huh.
That's wild.
Yeah. And like any other Splatoon, they always do these with like different versions of the game. So with Splatoon 1 and Splatoon 2, there was still like European and American Splatfests, but you couldn't choose which one you wanted to be on. If you bought the American version, you just played the American one. But with Splatoon 3, it seems like they're freeing that. So you can choose what region you want to be in when you boot the game up.
That's handy.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
That is really cool. And, I booted it up, designed my Octoling. I chose Octoling over Inkling. And the game looks good. I was shocked how big Splatsville is.
It's huge.
It is so much bigger than any previous town or central hub.
It is. It's wild, yeah. And like we can't do much at the moment. We can just sort of walk around and read messages, but it's a great looking place though. And I love that the intro to the game is pretty much the debut trailer. Like you start in the desert, you get the train. It's really, really cool.
Mm-hmm. It works really well. I'm excited to get into those. Lots of weapons available. You can check out most sub and special weapons during this whole thing. I'm going to try to start with the samurai weapon. I forget what it's called.
The Splatana?
Splatana, that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna try that first and see how well I do. I was looking for my beloved Blobber, but not there.
Yeah. Stacey UK confirms, it is live 9 a.m. in the UK.
Wow.
If you go for the European one.
So, cool. Did you go for the European one, John, or did you stick with America so you could play with us?
I'm pretty sure you can. I don't know if it does it every time you start the game or just the first time. But if I clear my data, I'm pretty sure I can go back and change it. But I think I went for the Americas just to make it simpler. Yeah,
because we are going to be streaming that twice tomorrow. One at the beginning of the whole thing, so I think it'll be around noon. I think it'll be at noon Eastern, just to get the start. Make sure it's not too early for Steve and Ash and all them, so we can all play and just show off the basic turf wars and show off weapons and stuff, and just have some fun there for like an hour or so. And then later in the day, because halfway through the Splatfest, they're going to switch over to those tricolor Splatfests or turf wars, so we can show those off. So is
it like the 2v1 thing?
Yes. It's where it's the 3-way battle. Two
Yeah.
teams on the outside, the winners on the inside. The big question we have right now is what is GVG itself going to be picking so we can all play together? Because you can, if you're on the same team, you can play together, and that's a nice little feature. But I know personally I would choose paper, but I don't think everybody agrees with me.
I think Brandon wants to be Rock.
Yeah.
As in the other brand, not Bovia.
Yeah. The Miracle Man.
The Miracle Man, and that's him.
What are you feeling, John?
I was gravitating towards scissors. We've got totally different answers here.
Yeah, we do.
But, I'm not that passionate though. I can be swayed.
Yeah, I can be swayed. Let's be honest. If we want to show off what it's like to be in the middle, it's probably best to choose either Shiver or Big Man's team. But
there's a lot of big man love in the plaza with the Miiverse messages.
yeah, what are you feeling, Brandon? You're not beholden to the GVG gods, I guess.
I think I'm a scissors guy, but like, yeah, I don't feel that strongly about it.
I think it's a good first one to start off with because
whenever I
don't think anybody's going to get into any real fight over this. It's a minor one that doesn't matter too much. Not that any of these.
Then again,
really
I work
matter.
in manga, so maybe I should choose paper.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
I can see these getting a lot more heated though. Like rock paper scissors, that's nothing. But some Splatfests in the past. There were some cool ones in the Wii U era. I think there was like a SpongeBob versus Patrick one or something.
Yeah. I think I remember that.
Yeah, so I think there's more of those in the future.
I remember seeing a meme on Twitter where it was like the three houses from Fire Emblem.
That's
cool.
I could see that happening. I could
break
see
people.
the 3 starters easily happening.
Oh yeah.
People fight for starters. That's easy.
Totally. Yeah.
Totally gonna happen.
I want to shout out something that was announced today.
Okay.
No one's talking about this. This is out of nowhere. But Puzzle Bobble is getting a new game called Puzzle Bobble Every Bubble, and it's exclusive to Switch next year in 2023. So it's by Taito, so the same people behind Bubble Bobble. And yeah, it's just getting a new one. There's co-op stuff. It looks pretty neat. And I thought I'll just shout it out because no one else will if I don't.
Puzzle Bobble is actually a really fun puzzle game. It was really one of those really simple ones to have fun with. Although I grew up knowing it as, I think it's Bust a Move, is what they called it in the States for a while.
Right.
And
I had no idea.
I remember, I will never forget this. They had the PS2 box art for Buster.
I know what you're talking about.
Why? They have a baby with one tooth hanging out that looks like it's just stuck there, and it looks
with the glasses.
Yeah, with the glasses. Like, how?
I'm looking this up right now. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right? It is terrifying. And as a kid, I feel bad for that. Like, Brandon, if you want to put the box art in the live audience, since I see people questioning.
I don't know if I actually have the rights to do so.
Oh,
that's okay. I'll do it real quick.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. But yeah,
I haven't tried it in a while.
But Puzzle Bobble is a lot of
rights.
fun. Yeah, good stuff. So yeah, I think with that we can probably move on to our patron topics. And who would like to start?
Alrighty.
I'm posting the baby, so why don't you start?
All right, Brandon, you want to go ahead and start us off? These are
Sure.
Oh God, that baby. Oh,
I hate it.
It's so bad. Why?
Good
Why would you
Lord.
choose that as your cover?
Okay, right. But,
Yes. Brandon, as always,
Yes.
if you become a patron, you can request topics of us for the GVG cast, and we have a few here that we chose from. And Brandon, go ahead and start us off.
Yes. So my topic comes from Cornflakes, and they say games with a great story that could never be adapted into a movie or comic, such as the basis that the story can only work for a medium like gaming. Example, Undertale, the story has too much dependence on file saves, past runs, and the difference between the main character's will and the player's will itself, but needs both present despite being silent. And I chose this topic for a very specific reason. And that's because I'm going to shill a little game from a little studio called Vanillaware called 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim.
I have it. I need to play it.
I think because much like games like people hold up games like Nier Automata to that sort of like, this is the kind of thing that could only be done in a game, and 13 Sentinels very quickly became that for me. And I don't say that to downplay Nier Automata, because it's amazing, but like 13 Sentinels blew my mind in how you have these storylines that you can go through for the most part in any order, and they sort of they do block your progress at points, but they sort of weave you through naturally so that you know just about the right amount of information in the mystery. Like you can kind of see some stuff out of order, but like they've designed the game in a way where you can do it in almost any order and it still makes sense. And I think that's just like some beautiful top tier video game storytelling right there.
Nice.
Go play that game. It's amazing on Switch. Just go play it. It's awesome. I love it.
Vanillaware is very good at that, because I remember them doing something similar with Odin Sphere, which is another fantastic game. I love Odin Sphere.
That one I have to play.
Yeah, I highly recommend that one. The Left Razor, the version, definitely fixes a lot of issues and still looks gorgeous. But yeah, Odin's less characters to switch between, but same sort of idea, and really great how it all comes together and works as a story. I don't know if it's on something that can only be done on games with games, because it's just choosing any order, but it's still a great game. But what about you, John?
I'm thinking I think you probably could adapt this to like an anime, but it wouldn't be the same. I'm thinking Kid Icarus Uprising. The story is so entangled with the gameplay. Like they're constantly talking at you, but it's directed with what's going on in the roller coaster of the flight. So like the story is almost like a music, like a musical wavelength that's always going up and down and up and down, and it's just flowing with the gameplay. Story's shouting you from all directions. And it's just everything is merging together perfectly. And I think if you take any of those pillars away, if you take story away, if you take the music away, Uprising is a worse game because of that. It works because it's all just working in tandem. And yeah, I think it's one of the coolest stories Nintendo's ever done. One of the coolest casts Nintendo's ever done, no doubt. Hades is one of the best characters. Yeah, I think it's just one of the best stories I've really experienced in a game.
Yeah, I have to agree. When I finally get to play 100%. Yeah, it's really, really fun. And God, I hope it gets a Switch port at some point. Get that thing off the 3DS.
I haven't played it in a while, but yeah.
Hopefully that's Bandai Namco's game. They're doing something.
I hope
Please.
so. I really hope so. I'm trying to think of a game, but nothing's really coming to mind as something that can only be done, other than when it comes to sheer length. Because look at most RPGs where you get these 40, 50, 60, 80, 100-hour RPGs. Some of them very story intensive. And yeah, the stories are kept simple and are basic. But to have it all in one go, if you adapted that to an anime, a cartoon, or live action, you're going to have so many seasons. And we're going to see that with Last of Us here, where it's just, you don't quite get the effect. But to have it all in one go and to have such a massive story, I think that's just something we see again and again. Like, I have not watched it, but I have not heard good things about the Persona 5 anime. And you'd think, given enough time, you could adapt it. But there's something missing. By being able to play the game, especially in these RPGs, I think you get a chance to be more connected to the characters, and that's something that games helps offer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I want to give a specific shout out because this is so many like JRPGs in particular, that do get adapted into anime, and it's sort of like watching a shell of its former self on your TV. I want to give 2 middle fingers up to the Valkyria Chronicles anime, which is just awful. Don't watch it. Go play the game. I
love Valkyria Chronicles. I didn't even realize it had an anime. What makes it so bad?
Anime made me so mad.
What makes it so bad?
They switch around some stuff. They put some highlights on characters that you probably shouldn't have. That's mostly what I remember being upset about. But yeah, not great. I don't know why that one popped into my head, but it's just.
I think what would be a really good anime is Xenoblade. I think it's already so anime-ish that you can just split into episodes. I just take the first game, make a whole series of anime out of it.
I mean, they did that with Xenosaga. They shortened it, but I think that's the thing is budget. A lot of these these adaptations of games are only given 13 episodes, and that's what 5.5 hours to tell an 80-hour story.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's where it gets tough.
For
Yeah,
sure.
you don't need a Juju buggy filler episode. We can probably ignore that bit.
Skip the ether mines.
Yeah.
Just skip right to the end.
Aramis here with a good point. There are games that give you a false sense that it's going to end, and that really can't be done in film or TV when you know how long the series is. That is a good point. That is a very good point.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Should I go on to my question?
Yeah, you can go ahead and do your question, John.
Cool. Mine comes from Jack Salmons, who says, is there a modern game or franchise you'd like to see be given the SD 3D treatment? And that's not an HD 2D typo. Games that emulate the PS1, PS2 era, like Bloodborne PSX, or Puppet Combo horror game anthology. So basically downgrades. Games you want to see from current series downgraded to lesser visuals. And this is actually something I thought about a little bit. Because when we played Mario Odyssey, and you get to like, the very end, you can get a 64-bit Mario costume.
Yes.
And I was thinking, like, what if we just had a sequel to Mario 64? Like, just taking the original style. Like, make like a really low-budget sequel, but keep all the heart. And this is another thing I thought about back on 3DS too, because we had Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D. And I thought, like, what if they just took all those assets and made a third game in that series? They didn't do that.
Yeah, I was pulling for him to do that.
Yeah. But I'd love something like that. Yeah, just I love the low poly style. I think it's really cool. And like some games like Mega Man Legends hold up really well.
Oh, it looks
I
so
love
good.
to see more developers just like we get a lot of 8-bit like inspired games, a lot of 16-bit inspired games. We very rarely get PlayStation and N64 styled games.
I feel like they're coming. They have to be coming.
Yeah,
soon.
maybe they are.
Yeah,
like
it has to be
some games in
partly
that era don't hold up, but some games absolutely do.
Yeah, most certainly. Oh gosh.
For one of the funny ones that come to my mind is having like Metal Gear Solid 4 in like PS1, like just make it like the original Metal Gear Solid. That's what the idea. Take those later games and just put them like the earlier games styles. But as far as like other ones that are sort of unique,
well, do you know what was really cool, Derrick? In Sonic Mania for the special stages, we got Sega Saturn Sonic back.
That is true. That is true.
Never really got a chance. He never really got a chance for a platformer. I mean, we could explore Sonic Jam Subworld. We had Sonic R, but I guess the 3D special stages in 3D Blast. But we never got like a proper 32-bit Sonic, and it's never too late.
That would be wonderful.
I think I figured out my answer, but I'm a little scared to throw it out into the ether because I don't I want to throw this out, but I do not want to live through the discourse if this were ever real. I think my answer is Pokemon Black and White.
Huh.
Okay. So how are you picturing this?
Like something in that sort of like PS1 Dreamcast era style. But I just know that like people would be like, oh, they're cheaping out on it, or whatever. So it would be something more reasonable in terms of scope as a remake, but like I think have a stronger visual identity because it is tying back to something
I'd like that a lot more. Are we using like Pokemon Stadium models for the?
Oh man,
yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, like
Pokemon
we're
Stadium
in that
models,
stadium Coliseum kind of era. Yeah. I think that would be really, really cool.
I'd be more okay with that than like a modern version. Because like,
exactly.
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, they felt so plain.
Yeah.
And Black and White were like the pinnacles of that art style. Like they fully animated the Pokemon. There were seasons. It looked gorgeous. And if you take that and just put it in the standard, like just clean art style, like that's nothing special.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's
like,
why I'm a little trepidatious about putting that out there.
I'm trying to look at other games, and I mean, some of these are just amusing to me. Like imagining Final Fantasy 13, like it's done in the style of Final Fantasy 7, or seeing Ratchet and Clank done in the style of Spyro. That sort of idea.
Oh, that's a good one. That is a really good one. Yeah, I'd play that.
Seeing those type of downgrades again. Resident Evil 7 or 8 in the style of like RE2.
Oh, that'd be really cool. Like
RE2.
fixed camera angles.
Yeah. Doing those fixed camera angles and stuff like that. Like again, those later sequels that changed so much, but going back to the classic, what made them kind of well known.
Yeah.
Idea. Or man, do like what was I thinking? I'm trying to think of like modern first-person shooters done more like GoldenEye.
Hey, that'd be nuts. Yeah, like
they make a new Doom that kind of looks and plays like Doom 3.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah. Or even like just take Doom Eternal and make it play like Doom 1.
Yeah.
There you go. That'd be fun. I think that's the fun of it, just to see how you take these modern games and take them back down. Because I've seen a little bit of the gameplay of Bloodborne PSX, and it's impressive to see it done that way.
It looks surprisingly authentic.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's a style I love. I understand why 16-bit and 8-bit get chosen so often, but there's something so nostalgic about that early 3D era. I want to see a lot more of it.
mm-hmm.
I feel like it could really shine removed from the technical limitations of the era.
Yeah, that's the part that hasn't aged well. Like, a lot of games around at, like 15 FPS, but there's some good lookers in there though. There's some really good lookers.
I'm trying to think of like what modern game would work really well going into the Mega Man Legends style. Like just the game, the way it moves, the way it looks. Like what modern game would fit that so really well? I'm actually kind of blanking.
What if they did like Mother 3, like the cancelled N64 one?
Ooh.
Just kept that style though.
Either that or go back to the Xeno.
Yeah.
We get a Xenoblade remake that looks like Xenogears.
That'd be
There
awesome.
you go.
Just having Shulk and the gang and these little sprites in 3D overworld.
I mean, we technically have those chibi versions in 3, so
hey,
the character.
I'd play a game that looked like that.
Yeah.
I want all these things. Yeah, just do all these. Yeah, do any of them.
Mm-hmm. Man. Well, we'll see if that becomes a trend. I honestly don't know. We'll see what happens.
So.
But I guess for my topic, I chose Spicy Pandaughter, who asks, has there ever been a game series that had a spin-off entry that was a different genre or take on the series that you wanted to see more of? And the first thing that came to my mind as soon as I heard this, I need more Dragon Quest builders.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah! How come they haven't made more
3,
Dragon Quest builders? Actually,
that's really what it comes down to. It's just come on, Dragon Quest Builders 1 and 2 is so good. Let's see a Dragon Quest Builders 3. That's man. I want to see what they do with that and how they expand upon it, and how they take the whole Erdrick thing and how they sort of, I don't know, take a swerve for it. I saw some saying Pokemon Puzzle League.
Yeah, I'd love more.
Pokemon on live audience saying Pokemon Ranger. That is a very forgotten DS specific spin-off that I don't know if they could bring it back, but
didn't it like destroy touchpads because you had to circle so fast and so often?
Yeah.
Ian Bose, that's another really good one. Pokemon Conquest.
Yeah, I was the Conquest.
Just have it cross over with Fire Emblem this time.
Yeah. When it comes to Dragon Quest builders, I always see those who haven't played the series being like, "Why do you want another one? What more could they do?" Because I think they just picture like a Minecraft 2 or Minecraft 3, which that isn't really what it is. Like it does iterate and refine, but the story it takes place in the world of each game. So Builders 2 is based on Dragon Quest 2, so Builders 3 would be based on Dragon Quest 3, and
that feels like a money pit. Just like everybody loves DQ3 in Japan. Just like, why not do that?
Yeah, I want it so badly. Come on, please. I'm trying to think of a good answer. I mean, it's not better than the series. I'm not going to say that Prime Pinball's better than any Metroid game. I want to see Prime Pinball 2, though, because it's legit one of the best pinball games I've played.
Man, you could do so much with that, too, because you can have the pinball go from different, swap boards, and, like you're going from the light world and dark world. Come on, that's a good idea.
Oh, yeah. I want to have, I don't know if Zen Pinball does this, but HD Rumble in both Joy-Con will let you feel which, if it hits the left flipper, you feel it in the left Joy-Con, or if it's the right flipper, you feel it in the right Joy-Con.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I had a mental image of trying to run away from an Emmy as a pinball, and I don't like that.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of amazing.
That would be horrifying.
What other ideas we have? Spin-off ideas, because there's a ton flying. Oh, Kirby's Dream Course.
Yeah,
Kirby Golf.
Kirby?
I guess that is sort of the.
I guess that is. I guess it did say better.
Yeah,
it's not. No, it didn't say better. It just said a spin-off entry that was a different genre or take that you wanted to see more.
Oh, different genre.
It didn't have to be better.
Okay.
It's just a different genre.
Yeah.
What was another one that was kind of
In
fun?
that case, Prime Pinball makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Sonic Spinball 2, says old man Jason in the live audience. That'd be interesting because Spinball 1 has a lot of personality, but it doesn't quite play as well as I remember it playing. But there's a lot you can do in there though. And like to cycle back to Pokemon Puzzle League as well. That was like one of the few Pokemon games that really had the anime in. And I'd love for them to like just take, journeys, like take the current anime with Ash and Go and like fully embrace the new generation. Get some proper cutscenes in there. That'd be rad.
Yeah, when you think about it, having sort of like anime integration into the games is not like, even in spin-offs they don't really do that much. So
Not really.
No.
in
they really
hindsight,
don't.
that's a really weird thing that I would love for them to try again.
Yeah. Boltmouse X says Sonic Riders. A Sonic Riders game that isn't free riders, they say. I really enjoy Riders. I didn't play Zero Gravity as much, but the first one I adored.
If they, I know they had that high learning curve, and
Yeah.
if they could figure that out where it's not just so technical, I think they could really find something there. Because I love the opening cutscene of Sonic Riders. It has this really good sense of coolness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, a Xenoblade rhythm game, says Gentleman Gamer.
I'm really feeling it.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. It's good to see a Muso of most games. Like, there's something fun about seeing your favorite series get a Muso.
Especially now that they're getting really good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're fully diving into the themes. Like, Persona 5 Strikers just feels like Persona 5. Hyrule Warriors Age Calamity feels like Breath of the Wild. Yeah, it's really cool that they're embracing these themes a lot more.
I honestly think it first started with Dragon Quest.
With Heroes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which honestly is really good. I'd highly recommend Dragon Quest Heroes. It really gets you some affinity with those classic characters. Because you're only getting heroes, it's always their allies, but it's fun. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Squire Mr. Prince in the live chat says, will 2023 be the year of the Xenoblade Warriors? Probably. It feels like it's next, right?
You think?
I couldn't think. I would be weird if it were any other. I think it would be weird if it were any other Nintendo franchise at this point.
Like you could do it just off 3 with the heroes. I prefer for it to be like.
Could.
Yeah, I mean, I prefer it to be all the games like 1, 2, and 3, and X. But you could just do 3 warriors. I think it's the most natural fit for sure. And they'll be yelling the whole time too. Like every time you do an attack,
exactly.
Like, I'm the girl with the girl. I'm the girl with the girl.
They really do like to shout in Xenoblade 3. Dear God.
Yeah, it would. You wouldn't even have to record new lines.
Perfect. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about Warriors is like you can imagine just about any franchise adapted to it, and it works pretty well.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think that about covers it. And man, I guess this kind of went fast. Where is the outro? Ash, do you not have an outro? Dear God, Ash, you do not have an outro. I'm screwed.
He's just vibes.
Oh no, there's no outro. Ash,
right. We have to go forever.
You fiend.
Unfortunately,
I always have a script to help me just not miss anything. But yeah, I guess with that, that's it for the show. Get me to stammer through this. That's wonderful. Thank you, Ash. I should have really checked that. But yes, thank you. I think that wraps it up for GVGcast today. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, we could not do this without the support of our lovely patrons. You all know who you are, and it really does mean the world. And of course, an extra special thank you to everyone at the producer tier. Just can support us. I think I forget what it's at, but get your name in here. This is me off the cuff. I am so sorry. I'm a mess. But yes, really do appreciate all of our producers. It's amazing. Thank you for all you do. And of course, an extra special thank you to everyone at the executive producer tier. Let me move this to the side here because I know this is not going to be there. Get some
it's
live.
that guy. I recognize him.
But yes, special shout outs to all of our executive producers, and they include Brandon Bovia. I wonder who that is. Cutie Caitlin, Fangs, Dan Entwistle, Z Patty, Jess Bryan, Sky Blue Flames, Eastman23, Adam O'Sullivan, Richard Herrera, Logan Daniel, Christopher Baque, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Critter XD, Kitty Kong Facts, Angel Martinez, Vedron Hotik, Joshua Hunter, Benny Yao, Azran127, Black King, Pagrama, Geller, Joseph Rutkin, Titus Malvolio, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Kyle, Wataniac, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Doug Shomix, Andrew Medeiros, Brady Power, Becca, Rocks the Cat, Killamox, Eddie B, Kit Fisto, Jessica Toad, Deanith, Sci-Fi Lullabies, Michael McCall, Nope, Matthew Wong, Goron Amber, Straight Lace, Justin Matthews, Too Much Spaghetti, Akil P, Ascaron809, Rioner, Nathan Steele, Spicy Pandotter, Rain and Clouds, The Game Orb, Dano the Artist, Super Gamer Dude 101, Grantles, Ravelox, Rosa Pardo Bowling. Hi, Steve's mom. Mega Amster, Kane Woolley, Darksteel01, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Cystic Warrior 29, DJ Jurassic, Dinner Sonic, Derrick, Nova the Artist, Colin, Blaze 25, Mumbling Yeti, Cameron Sharp, Screamo Shaman, Mason Riley, Keel, Willow Pingree, Moon Knight, Ray Clausen, Brendan Hess, Noah Fitterer, Calvin Atkinson, Ryan's Fault, Brainchild, Pat Pending, Jim Wakelin, Laura Bond, Long Boy is Shiggy, I think that's it, or is Higgy, Andy Mind P, Ad, Kyle the Monarch, Alpha Lion, Lord Metarex, Kyle Gamer and Barry Rookie, Jay Brox, Salad Dinner, Revolver Axolot, Datboy64, Blaze Collard, Eric, Danielle Crowder, Alex Westover, Cat Evie Person 5, and Lady Max Illery. Thank you all so much for your continued support, and to hit that executive producer level, it really does mean a lot. Even with my screwed up outro, just really do appreciate it. All of our patrons, big and small, and remember that you can become a patron over at patreon.com/gvgaming. Before we head out, though, we did get one last super chat from Hustlebun for $9.99. Said, spinoff I want back, Far Cry Blood Dragon. A satire of 80s sci-fi with actors from Aliens and Terminator and amazing synth OST. It's still as addictive as heck 10 years. Has it been 10 years since Blood Dragon? My God.
The best Far Cry.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. So, yeah, I can't blame you. But yes, thank you everyone so much. Really do appreciate the support. And we'll be back next week with even more GVGcast. Look out for John's future videos. Look out for my videos coming. They're coming, I promise. And Brandon, thanks again for joining us. Really does.
Yeah. Thank you. First guest.
First guest. Check out Brandon over his what's your Twitter again, Brandon?
I'm at Brandon Bovia. Easy to find. Just like on the One Piece podcast, talking about anime, manga, games, and my job. That's my outro.
Yeah, there you go. And yeah, if you're curious about the One Piece podcast, we're known as One Piece at a Time. I did not realize that was Funimation's as well, but hey, they're defunct now, so it works. I called mine. Anyway, thank you all so much. Really do appreciate it. And you all have a great evening. Till next time, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.